Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another book review. This is actually the first book in the Mortal Engines saga. There are 8 in total. I had to do a little bit of research because I didn't know, honestly. The first encounter that I had actually had with Phillip Reeve was Mortal Engines, the movie, and of course, if you're like me, you know that Hollywood likes to take a lot of creative liberties, which they do, but honestly, the book and the movie are well suited, and the movie might have a little bit extra that was creative license, but it actually lends itself to that because there are quite a few gaps that Philip didn't fill in, so the producers decided to do a little bit of imagination on, but it actually makes sense. And the Lazarus Brigade is discussed more in detail, which in the movie they leave that detail out, and it just leaves you wondering, well, how did they come to be? What are the stalkers? And the book is really good about explaining that. And of course, it explains, well, you're left with Lady or Tiger and how the mobile cities came to be. And let's just say that it's devastating, and it makes more sense when the book explains it. And of course, the movie does a good job of explaining it as well, but the book is just better at leaving you to fill in the blanks where it's necessary. But Philip writes very tongue-in-cheek, and he's very satirical in his writing style. And actually read a little bit on the leaflet about him because I wasn't really familiar with Philip Reeve. He was born in Brighton, England. Well, that makes sense because I could really sense a lot of the Brit wit coming through. He worked in a bookshop for many years before breaking out and becoming an illustrator for several highly successful children's books in the UK. He also produced and directed no-budget theater productions and co-wrote a musical, The Ministry of Biscuits, which sounds hilarious. Mortal Engines is his first published books. Actually, I guess his octuplet, or octet, I guess you could call it octet, is the first series that he actually wrote. Mr. Reeve and his wife and son now live in a hamlet high above the moorland in Devon, England. But you can really sense a lot of the British wit that comes through in Mortal Engines, and it's absolutely sensational. And if you're like me and you love I wouldn't call it cyberpunk. This is steampunk, and it is steampunk of the utmost degree, and it's one of those books that when you pick it up, you can't put it down. You're utterly captivated. He hooks you. He reels you in, and you want to know more, especially about how the prisoners are treated. And the film doesn't cover that, but in the book, you think, oh my dear Lord God, that's just absolutely atrocious what the prisoners are being fed. And I'm not going to go through that, but it's really funny what the people subsist off of. Of course, the movie got it right with algae, and of course, there's a smile meal, which is their take on the happy meal, which I thought was really quite amusing when Hester finds herself in another settlement where there happens to be a McDonald's equivalent eating establishment, fast food joint, even in the future, and dystopian apocalyptic world. I thought, well, go figure, because if you've seen Idiocracy is similar in that regard, and that's why I love Idiocracy so much. And I know a lot of people pan Idiocracy, but it's actually a very thought-provoking film, and it's a cautionary tale that we did not heed from Mr. Judge, and I feel that Mr. Judge is a prophet in his own right. That being said, thank you, Mike Judge. I appreciate your contribution to prophecy, even though a lot of people don't see it that way. Mortal Engines is absolutely tremendous. It is sensational. I absolutely loved it. I got the second book in the series, and I cannot wait to read the entire series, which I will definitely review in time. But this first book is a great way to wet your whistle and to prepare you for what's coming next, because it leaves it open ended, and you think, oh, good, there's a wonderful ship going on that's sailing, and I adore it. And I sail this ship with all its flags full mast, and yeah, I'm sorry, I usually do that with couples that I really, really like quite a bit. Uh, and I will never overcome this. But that's basically all I have to say for Mortal Engines. I would highly recommend to read the book before you see the movie, just because, like I said, the book is more detailed, and you get to learn more about the Lazarus Brigade and the Stalkers, and why they are the way they are, what they were created for, and what purpose that Lord Mayor Crome has with the Stalkers is utterly terrifying. I thought, holy Moses, I am, whoa. It reminded me of just a horrendous nightmare vision, but it's compelling in itself, and it leads to a discussion, I think, that is very intriguing. I would believe that it would really get people talking, honestly. Um, and I can't recommend it more than I do. And I'm so glad I had a chance to read it. And like I said, I am eager to read more of The Hungry City, and just I'm gung ho and gear bound, hardy har, to read more steampunk tales in due time. Until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, Tootsie.